And back to a show that's cooler than the other side of the pillow. It's the Thrive Time Business Coach Show.
It's the Thrive Time Show on your radio. Get it on the broadcast or the podcast down low. We'll teach you the moves to make your business roll. Provide you the fuel to make you want to go. Whether you're a startup or a big-time baller, we'll teach you the systems to increase your dollars. Google Optimize, sales multiplies. We cite it all so we never lies. Pinch yourself, it's a truth, not a fable. My name is Clark, but I ain't Clark Gable. Next to me, it's Z, he owns Staples. And you can too if you unplug the cable. Yes, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio. It is my sincere, this is like my favorite thing to do, is to be here with you on the podcast, because my mission is to help people like you. And I get so excited and so fired up whenever we have somebody reach out who has the mindset for success. If you can just, at the very fundamental level, if you can just get to a place where you embrace that you need coaching. When you can just get to a place of coachability, when you get to a place where you've realized it's easier to learn from mentors than mistakes, that's an exciting place to be, Marshall. Marshall, why is it so exciting when somebody actually, because we've helped so many clients. I mean, Delricht Research has gone from a startup to bringing in over $100,000 a month. That's incredible. But talk to me about their coachability. Why are they just such a joy, and is it such a life-giving, great win-win working with people like that?
There's a couple things that are characteristic of Rachel and Tyler that I think make them a diligent doer. Okay.
Come on now.
Number one is they execute everything that they're supposed to be executing every single week. It is impressive. I never have to follow up and say, hey, you know what? You guys need to try a little bit harder to get that done. They just get it done every single week. Number two is they are very proactive with their time. So they use that 1 hour coaching meeting to strategize and spend the entire rest of the week executing their plan.
And just to irritate us, he stays in great physical shape.
It is impressive.
It's like his biceps are building themselves. No. He blocks out time to work out too. And to really irritate us, she heard about us by jogging while listening to our podcast. So
is she like training for a marathon or something?
It is
Come on.
impressive.
So let me tell you, for me, if I'm listening to a podcast, while I'm listening to a podcast, I'm like sitting in a chair,
The Brahms drive-thru,
taking notes at the Brahms drive-thru. She is like, oh, I was just running. I was
mile 10
while listening to your podcast. How in the world? These are the kind of disciplined people that rule the world. People that are disciplined, they don't need to be disciplined by someone else.
And the third thing that they do that is impressive is they make the trade-offs necessary in order to grow their business. They're willing to sacrifice the short term for the long term.
How have you seen them do it? Come on, give us examples.
This is incredible.
Don't hold back now.
They had not gone on trips.
What?
They cut out all of the recreational stuff where they're like, oh, let's spend a ton of money on entertainment and
Why
stuff.
Why does spend a ton of money on entertainment?
They took that off. They waited till they were insanely profitable and bringing in a ton of money, and then they went on vacation.
You mean they didn't try to build the business from Cabo?
No, they didn't try and build it in Cabo or on a cruise ship.
Margaritaville.
Bro, my whole deal, bro, is like life balance, bro, and it's like I just want to like, I don't really do good with words, but I just be like blah.
Like that 4 hours a week, man. That's 4 hours.
I got that 4 hour work week book I was reading, bro. And it's like,
if you are willing to commit and be diligent in dedicating time, okay, it's not just money, but it's your time as well. You have to make trade-offs with your time in order to grow the business, and that's why.
But I am awesome. I don't need to actually take the time needed to sit down and take 20 hours to make a handbook. I tell you this: when I urinate excellence. When I think in terms of
urine.
It's my job to think about the vision. I don't mess around with the small petty details like writing a script or getting ongoing feedback. I don't have time to do my accounting. no need to handle. My accountant handles that. You know what I mean? I don't need to. I mean, to quote the notorious BIG, you know what I mean? Accounting, I don't need to worry about it because my accountant's on top of it. Which is why all the rappers have tax problems. So these guys look at their numbers.
So you look at all of these different businesses, whether it be Dr. Robert Zellner's auto auction or his optometry
Come on
clinic,
now.
or Elephant in the Room men's grooming lounge,
Yes.
or clinical research down in New Orleans.
How much time did you spend on payroll this week for Elephant in the Room?
More time than I should have.
How much time?
Probably 15, 16 hours.
It's because we're building a system.
Yeah.
And so you got to dial it in before you franchise, man. I mean, these are the things. So I just want to say a big shout out to the Delricks. Awesome job. Rachel Tyler. What's their website? Where can people find out about these guys?
They can find out about those guys at delrichtresearch.com. That's DELRICHT research.com.
These guys are all stars, just blowing my mind. And I'm so frustrated with Tyler. He's so jacked. Every time I see him, he gets more jacked, more fit, but
Not
yet
only
he's
that,
making more money.
he's handsome too.
It's the whole thing is
muscles and looks.
It's a bunch of crap. It's that kind of. That's what causes people. This is why they threw him in the pit. You know, he's got the coat of many colors running around like, "Hey, look, I got a coat of many colors." They're like, "We've got nasty brown coats. Don't show us that." No, guys, look, I've got this nice little coat of many colors. Look, and I had a dream. And they're like, "You stop. We'll throw you into the pit. We'll sell you as a slave." Tyler, I'm just telling you, if you keep being honest and consistent and diligent and making copious amounts of money while being married to a great lady and staying in great shape, we're throwing you into a pit.
We're going to do it.
That's what we're going to do.
We got to get 5 or 6 of us to come down and do it. But
we hate to do it, but as a culture, we always want to attack people that are diligent because it makes us feel bad. You know, it just, we got to attack. I mean, Jesus, he only lived to be 33 because he hadn't sinned yet.
Oh.
They're like, come on, come on. We're all doing it. Come on, join us. Peer pressure, Jesus.
We're going to kill him.
Jesus, come on, just smoke a little Chiba with us.
Oh, my gosh.
And Jesus is like, nah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Jesus, come on. Let's fornicate. Let's do a little fornicate. Jesus, come on. We got this.
Let's worship some false idols.
Let's make some false idols. Jesus, come on. Come on. No, but that's so. I'm just telling you, people that are honest over time, the world begins to hate you, but we love you, Tyler and Rachel. Awesome job, my friends. Now we're moving on now. We're teaching the proven path for building a successful tumbling company or a gymnastics training center. Now, this business is easy to grow if you can actually teach tumbling. I mean, this right here.
That's a big caveat.
That's a big caveat.
No, I mean, but if you're actually good at teaching tumbling, I mean, this business model is sick. I mean, it's not nauseous. Do you know why it's so easy?
Why?
Educate.
Because soccer moms do the majority of the spending in the world. The majority of consumer spending right now in America is done by women.
Right.
And I want to look that up and put it on the show notes, but the majority of purchases today, and we'll get the actual stat here for you, are made by women. I mean, the vast majority. And women, when they believe that their daughter has the ability to become a cheerleader, every mom wanted to be that super cheerleader.
Right.
So when they see that their kid could be the super cheerleader, that $50, $80 an hour charge seems reasonable. Furthermore, what do you have to deliver in terms of cost of goods and services if you are a gymnastics facility? Let's think of all the costs that do you have to buy more products?
Are you talking about variable costs? Not a whole lot of variable costs.
You pay the coach.
Right.
You pay for the gym.
Right.
Which is in a warehouse district. They're always in a warehouse district.
Right.
So you're in a cheap office space. You're paying a coach. They usually have industrial fans in there.
Not a whole lot of overhead.
Right. So it's you're going to probably bring in $2 an hour of revenue, and you're going to spend $1 on your labor, and you're keeping a good margin. So it's going to be for you, once you execute these marketing strategies, it's going to be about working with Marshall here to really know the numbers. Because I do see a lot of gyms where they bring in $2, but they spend $2.10.
Ooh, that's not good.
Because they haven't managed their cost. They haven't made a pro forma, which is a projection of future financial performance based upon known variables. Chubb, how much are the women spending?
So it turns out, according to Forbes, women drive 70 to 80% of all consumer purchasing.
Right. So
that's like a majority if you don't understand how that works.
This is like selling. This is so easy. Selling your
it's like
gymnastics
selling tumbling to a mom.
Well, yes, but it's like selling like those organic, very expensive smoothies to a woman wearing $155 Lululemon pants.
It's all day.
You see her coming in with those pants and those nice designer Nike shoes, and she's coming in with a shirt that says something like, "Choose excellence." that lady's going to buy a $9 smoothie.
All day.
All day?
Twice a day, maybe.
Earned day. This is easy. Okay, so here we go. So you want to register your site on Google and optimize it. Optimize your map. You want to register your map with Google and optimize it for Tulsa Tumbling. Marshall, how do we do it?
So what we have to do is we got to go to business.google.com, and we'll show you how to do it. But you got to go there. If you don't have a Google listing, then you need to register one, okay? And we'll walk you through that process. But then you have to optimize it with the keywords that will get you to come up top for Tulsa Tumbling.
I got to say this. Right now, it's so hard for me not to open a cheer gym, and my wife and I were talking about this the other day because Vanessa's encouraged me to not do any more business ventures for a while, and I
like how you use that word.
Well, we talked, and it's the move. But she literally was like, "You need to calm down there."
Stop.
Because look at this, dude. Look at this on Google. I'm pulling up on the big screen here. It's crazy. You only need 6 Google reviews to be in the top 3, dude. If I owned a gym, we'd get to 100 reviews real quick. We'd be top in Google.
It's over.
And then the competitors, I've worked with some of the people, and most of the people that are in the cheer space, and I'm not the people in Tulsa, no, other markets.
Oh, yeah.
They have psychological problems that are keeping them from being top. We worked with one cheer gym, and I'm not kidding. They would get 50 leads a week within the first 6 months because nobody in the cheer world knows how to optimize a website. So this is like fish in a barrel. So step 1, register your website, get the most reviews, and your coach Marshall will help you do that. Step 2, and you got to optimize and enhance the website. Now, Marshall, where do people give you pushback? So tell us the 4 variables that affect your Google score, your rank in the Google search engines, but then explain to us what's the pushback with each one of those.
Okay, so the first thing is you got to be canonically compliant.
What?
Okay.
What?
So it's the canon of Google. It's the rules that you must follow.
Yes, I have
Google.
often been called the canon of Google.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is very nice.
I'm the Google of canon.
This is a different canon.
If your body was a canon, I'd want to. I don't know. Never mind.
If your body was a Google, never mind.
Your body's a wonderland.
Yeah, if you was nice.
And so what you have to do is you have to follow all of these different rules on Google, like the horizontal navigation bar, the HTML sitemap, the XML sitemap. These are all things that our team can do for you.
But a lot of, not our clients, but other people would say, yes, but I want my site to look sexy. I don't want to follow the Google rules. I want to be flash-based. I want my site to be flash.
I read a blog.
I read a blog about sexiness on the internet.
At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is getting in front of your customers.
Right.
And the only way to do that is to follow all of Google's rules.
You is negative.
I was direct.
Okay.
Candid.
So the 4 variables that affect your Google rank are what?
Number 1, canonical compliance.
Yes.
Number 2, mobile compliance. It has to work on your smartphone. People are using smartphones.
Turns out.
The whole tone is the problem, really, because you were the nice man, but you just sometimes seem so mad. And mobile compliance, that is something I don't even know what you're saying right now. But I'm worried more about your tone than I am what you're saying, because the way you're saying something, that something it'd be better sometimes if you said nothing at all. You know what I'm saying?
Number 3, you have to have the most Google reviews. You have to have over 100 Google reviews, and therefore you have to commit to getting 1 Google review per day.
And you know how long that'll take you?
If you get 1 a day and you need 100,
carry the 1.
It's
100
days.
That's right.
Okay, so you
I don't have time to gather Google reviews. My product is so good it would sell itself.
Well, there is an article on Forbes that says 88% of people will read Google reviews.
Hey, you know what? There's an article about your mother.
Oh,
Trebek.
I don't want to stop. We have to. Listen, you come in here talking about all these. You come in here talking about all these facts and inserting the
statistics and
figures. And I just say your tone is the problem.
You and your principles.
You're teaching facts. But I say blah. Let's not focus on the facts. Let's focus on my feelings.
We are going to focus on the things that will get you to the top of Google and allow you to be copiously profitable.
Like your mother.
Okay. And then number 4, you have to create.
My mother actually does do really well.
Thank you. My mom appreciates that.
No, not your mother, other people's mothers.
Okay. Create the most content. Okay. So then you have to have the most content about tumbling in Tulsa on your website. And so our team can walk you through that. You have a couple options there. Number one, if you wrote a blog, you might be the first person in the history to diligently write a blog every single day. That would be impressive.
Don't tell me what I can't do. I'm going to write a blog. It's going to be the best blog ever. I'm going to write two hours a day beginning tomorrow.
I'm going to flog this blog.
I'm going to kill the blogs. Smash it.
Murder.
Your second option would be to record a podcast about tumbling.
Podcast.
If we recorded a podcast, you couldn't be on it because your body
is not cast.
Oh my gosh.
The reason why I'm doing this so serious is whenever we walk people through a proven path, a lot of times they will just personally attack you when you explain to them how Google works. And like at no point, like you're trying to teach somebody that to get to the top of Google, you have to have the most reviews. And they're like, are you kidding me? In fact, we have somebody here that I want to do a big shout out to.
Big shout out?
Yes. Her name is Illusion.
Ooh.
And Illusion wrote me this nice little letter. She says, I truly wish you the best. I feel awful that you've been taken such advantage of by that individual, Marshall Morris, and that company. It is the worst case of scamming and much more I have seen in my entire legal marketing career. Marshall's the word boom out of Marshall's mouth at the end of the phone conversation this evening was confirmation of the level of professionalism and lack of good judgment on his part. His level of competence, professional marketing acumen is neither here nor there at this point, but he has you convinced that he has enough. Now, this is somebody who's kept one of our clients from being top in Google for years. And then from Mount Jackassery, she shows up with this absolutely ridiculous email. But Illusion, the thing is, it's called scoreboards. So I want to do is I would like you, Miss Illusion. I'm not going to mention your last name because that would
show it to me. I will.
Yeah, but what I'd like for you to do is I went to your website, which reminds me a lot of. And I got to be careful here because if I say the truth, you and your litigious mind, because this is what you are a non-profitable. You're actually a non-profit, but you're a business, which turns out would be a loser. And so if you go to cross here. Can't say the rest of it because I go there. If I say the whole thing, I get in trouble. So I'm just going to go to your website secretly. We'll all look at it. And I look at your site, and I notice that your website is not Google Canonical compliant, nor is it effective at producing clients. So what you do is you run around talking to people about how the search engine strategies that have worked for clients are not ethical or good. But I want you to know, Ms. Illusion, that this will be the only moment of my life that I give to thinking about you and your pathetic company. But I wanted you to know that we do very, very well. And if how you're going to get business is by contacting our clients and telling them that Marshall is a scam and a fraud, that's cool. And I looked at your photo, your photos here on your website, and I looked at you, and now I have a good look at who you are. And I just wanted you to know that we are so excited for. There you are. I'm looking at you right now. I sincerely hope that you figure out how Google works eventually, because you have a marketing company and yet you don't know how to market on the internet.
It's like you're being a fat trainer.
And I had a question for you. I wanted to know, how can you breathe with your head so far up your anus? That's my question. And we move on.
Sincere.
We move on now. We move on now. So the next step, now that we've pulled someone's head out of their anus and they've learned, it's amazing they can teach them.
What was that sound?
Okay, let's continue.
You have to create content. So let's recap. Canonical compliance, mobile compliance, gather one Google review per day to get at least 100. And then you got to create the most content. This is what you have to do to enhance the website, okay? You must do this. The third thing that you have to do in this this action plan, is you got to create a linear workflow. This is one of the best, biggest, most important steps to eliminating your biggest limiting factor, which is duplicating and scaling yourself.
Okay? You're taking notes on this. Continue, Marshall.
Okay, so you got to create a linear workflow, and we're going to help you through that. The first thing that you have to do in creating a linear workflow is you got to go buy a massive, huge whiteboard. Okay, I recommend the super move for this, and this is a super move that I give to all of the listeners out there because we're about practical, real.
And we have a link on the show notes for people that want to make their own whiteboard. We put a link up there.
That's what the link is. That's what the YouTube link is.
Yeah, it's the link on how to do it. It's a super move.
Okay. So shower board, shower board. Yep. It's shower inexpensive board. And it works as a whiteboard.
You could buy a 4x8 whiteboard, 4 foot by 8 foot whiteboard for a couple $100, or you could go out and buy this one sheet that you can write on for like $8.
It is awesome.
Speaking of one sheet, that reminds me of the entire page of text that dealers sent us as a complaint. Okay, back to you, Marshall.
And then you have to build a linear workflow. Step 1, this is what happens when a customer first interacts with us. Step 2, this is the phone call that happens. Step 3, this is the consultation evaluation that happens. Step 4, this is the private lesson or the group lesson that happens. Step 5, this is the training that happens. Step 6, this is the next evaluation. Step 7, this is the accounting. This is the hiring. And you have to sketch that out section by section for what happens, and we'll walk you through that. We'll help you through that with the linear workflow.
Every client that we work with that implements this system grows dramatically because you can't visualize the problems in your system until you get them out of your head. It's just like a blueprint for your business. So it's absolutely mind-freeing when you take the time to make a linear workflow there, Chip.
That's what I was going to bring up is the mind freedom type thing. It's like every client that I've done this with, before it even has a big effect on their business, right? Like right when they do it, it's like a cathartic release. It's like, oh my gosh, this has been stuffed inside my head for so long, and now it's all out in front of me, and I can make changes, I can move things around. It's a real tangible thing at that point.
A real tangible thing. Marshall, what's the next step?
The next thing that you have to do is create a pro forma. And you were asking me about this during our evaluation.
Right.
Are you guys going to help us with the numbers? This is one of the most valuable things that our coaching program can help you because we've done it. We've created pro formas. We've operated 13 multi-million-dollar businesses, and so we know what it takes to get your numbers right. And if you don't get your numbers right, you might be scaling a fail. So we have to get your income and your expenses in line, and we're going to help you do this. And that's included as part of the week-to-week coaching. That's not an upsell. That's not an additional fee. That's not an additional thing. A cross-sell. This is something that we're going to help you with, and so you have to create a pro forma. We have to know that for every student or every athlete that you bring on as part of the Tumbling program, that you're profitable at that specific person. Okay.
You know what's interesting? I was going back to the website of that person that was telling us that our search engine system doesn't work, and I noticed that they have so little traffic that SpyFu indicates they have no actual visitors to their website. So
face palm.
So, Illusion, I just wanted to share with you how just
as we continue to move on.
What I want to do is all the listeners, if you guys would like to donate, like if all the listeners, we could just all do a credit card for $1 a day, we could support a starving, dysfunctional, mildly retarded marketing person. Back to you, Marshall.
Okay, so number 5, you have to create a one sheet. This is going to compare you versus your competition. What do you do versus what do other people do? And you have to list out all of the different buying factors that somebody, a soccer mom who wants to put their kid through some tumbling lessons,
yes,
what are they evaluating when they're coming to a clinic or a camp for tumbling?
And you just one up everybody. Just do you versus the competition.
That's right.
And one up everybody. Offer more service for less price. This is how it does. Less money, more service. And do that until you have so many people coming to your business that you can afford to raise the prices. But you just start every time. This is how you win. Kick the legs out from under the competition. They already have their cost structure. Just go as low as possible and offer the most value possible. Just go low. It works. I'm telling you, it works every time. Just go low, knock the crap out of the competition. Be very competitive. You have to do this.
Now, if they're not...
Go ahead.
I'm very passionate, and you're very passionate too, Eric. And so I want to make a comment about this, but not until after you make your comment.
Well, I've commented there, so I want you to comment first.
Okay. So with your one sheet, this is the pushback I get from a lot of thrivers, okay? They're saying, well, marketing's not my problem. I have as much business as I need. I have as many clients coming in as necessary. And so, Clay, I'm going to get your take on this, but this is my belief that if you have as much business coming in as you want and you need, but the business is still dependent on you. What you have to do is you have to overbrand and overmarket, because in order to remove yourself, from the business, you have to create systems that allow them to close deals even without you. So Warren Buffett, he has this quote, the billionaire investor, says that I try to buy stock in businesses that are so wonderful that an idiot could run them, because sooner or later one will.
Right.
And so
with your
with your website, with your branding, with your sales systems, with your scripts, they have to be able to work without you. So we need all of these systems.
You have to have the systems. You got to have them documented. This is so important that you do. If you don't build these systems, you're not going to win. You're not going to win, Chuck.
So building off of what you were saying just a second ago, Clay, about looking at what the competition's doing and kicking their legs out from under them, the mindset you have to have right now is to delay gratification. Okay.
Yes.
Put all of the resources, all of the money back into the company, because if you are better than the competition, you've got to get your reviews up and your price down so low that you get a bunch of people into your facility. You wow them, and then they start to refer you. And once you get that loop going, that's the best way to get new clients at the cheapest price level.
Captain Kirk was always trying to get Scotty to let him shoot off the photon torpedoes.
Right.
So Captain Kirk's like, Scotty, gotta get more. Turn on the photon torpedoes. Scotty, I gotta have the lasers. And Scotty, poor guy down there, he's doing like manual repairs on the Enterprise. For some reason, it's like a spaceship, but he's like, Captain, I can't give you any more power. I can't give you. It's like, Scotty, I need the power. I need to be able to shoot off the lasers. Scotty, I need the lasers. I must shoot off the lasers now. And he's going, Captain, I can't do it. I got it. Scotty, do it. And they're going back and forth, and this is always his move. Scotty always goes, I could turn down the shields, Captain. And he's like, well, Scotty, this is a TV show. We won't actually die. Go for it. And he's like, all right, Captain, I'll turn off the shields. I can't give it any more power. I've given you all this you got, Captain. He's just freaking out. And then Captain Kirk is just like, Sulu, fire away. And then and Chekhov. No, Chekhov's the guy who hits the weapons. Chekhov. And Chekhov's like Vladimir Putin kind of a guy. I must break you. I turn on the lasers. And he blow up the Klingons. And it's like business owners are not willing to turn off their freaking shields.
Right.
They're just you're yelling at you're Scotty. You're like, Scotty, I need to have some money for marketing. And Scotty's like, can't do it. Going to Outback tonight, Captain. Can't do it. They got a drink special at TGR Fridays.
Bloomin' onion.
Can't do it. I'm on the beach in Costa Rica. Captain, keep the glow sticks. Captain, where are the chicks? Where are the lays? Captain. So again, you got to be all in. You got to delay gratification. 100% agree. You got to turn off the spending to turn on the marketing. Marshall, what's the next step?
The next step is you got to begin the group interview as soon as possible. Okay, so this process is one of the most powerful processes and time-saving processes. If you are listening to this and you're looking for somewhere to save at least 10 hours a week in your business, you need to start the group interview process. Okay?
Because Illusion's listening, I'm actually drawing cartoons so she can understand it. So
nice.
We'll make those available for you.
Okay, so number one,
slideshow.
Number one, what you have to do is you have to create the perfect job post. We have job posts that we have created because we have actually done this, and we actually own a 13 multi-million-dollar businesses that employ people.
Let me do this. I'm using sock puppets for Illusion.
Okay.
What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do job posts every week, and then what you're going to do, Illusion, do you understand what I'm saying to you? Illusion.
I don't understand it. What I love about Walmart is that, they have walls at their mart.
That's right. Illusion.
Okay, back to you, Marshall.
Okay, and so you got to create those perfect job posts, and we can help you with that. Number two, you got to post those jobs weekly.
Post those jobs.
You got to post them.
Post them.
Okay, then the next thing that you have to do is you have to have a group interview where you invite all of those applicants for the trainer positions, because what we want to do is we want to replace you as doing all of the training. We've helped a number of personal trainers, tumbling coaches in a variety of different sports and industries be able to do this, but we are going to help replace you, and we'll walk you through that process. But we have to invite everybody that applies to that position to a group interview in order to maximize the amount of time saving that you're having.
Right. This is how it works. You got to do the moves. Marshall, what's the next move?
Okay. The next thing is you have to schedule a shadow day with all of your ideal candidates.
Because the illusion's listening, can you explain what the word shadow means?
Okay, so what you have to do is you have to invite
the
them
thing
to...
on the ground when I'm outside.
It's a thing on the ground.
How do you date your shadow, Marshall?
It's on the ground.
Speaking of Outback, I'm taking my shadow to Outback later.
You're not taking the shadow to Outback.
Not a
Please use another sock puppet. I don't
Okay,
understand
what you have to do is you have to invite the ideal candidates to come shadow you on the job of you actually training. See if you even like this person to come work with you in your gym.
That's huge. I see so many business owners. I suffered from this myself, looking for candidates over and over and over again with the concrete company with my parents and hiring people that I knew I wasn't going to like because I just felt like I needed somebody so bad. Needed somebody in that position immediately. And then guess what? When you work with a bunch of people in your own business that you don't like, your life sucks.
So what we have to do, I got a mystic statistic here, okay, that's going to help you, my man. What you need to understand is that 85%,
That's a lot.
85% of job applicants lie on their resumes.
Like they put them under their sheets?
No. They lie. They mislead you to believe certain
untruths
untruths on their resumes. This comes from Inc.com. Inc.com. You can look it up. It's 85% of job applicants lie, okay?
Because usually has a web marketing company, but apparently is not aware how the internet works. Could you explain to her how to actually go to that website?
Okay.
First it's the www.
www.
Yeah, but do I have to use the... how do I even get on the internet? Is that like... How do I do it?
So what you want to do first is you want to go to Google.
How do you go to Google?
The second thing is you
Google
want to make sure... the second thing that you want to do...
But it's so funny. Is there's so many internet marketing companies out that literally don't know how to market. It's unbelievable. Back to you.
Okay. The second mystic statistic that I have for you, my man, is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce estimates that 75...
That's a lot, too.
75% of employees steal from the workplace, and most do so repeatedly.
It's too negative. We must move on.
Okay, we must move on. So the next step in the path, what we have is we must determine winnable keywords for search engines.
Yes. And your coach will help you do that. That takes hours, but they're going to help you do that. That research, they're going to do that for you. Now, step 8, you got to begin your search engine content production. So what you want to do... What do you want to do? What do you want to do? So what you want to do in order to get to the top of Google is you have to have the most content. Now, if you would like to write the content, you could write the content, but because apparently you don't, that's why your own website for your own internet marketing company does not come up in the internet search results. So you'd have to write the content.
That stings.
Or you'd have to pay someone to write the content, but not writing the content and then not writing the content is not an option. You can't not write the content. So in this particular case, as we represent clients, medical, doctors, law, all different industries, what happens is that nobody in the company is willing to write the content needed. So if you want us to do it, we could do it. Or if you want to do a podcast, we've invented a technology called End Quote. We're partners with a company called End Quote, where they will transcribe it for you using artificial intelligence. So you just record the podcasts and then we'll transcribe it for you. And it's whoever has the most relevant content about that subject gets to be top in Google, and your coach can show you how to do it. Step number 9, you want to launch those retargeting ads. That's the ads that follow you all around the internet. Step number 10, get those inbound sales scripts written so somebody other than you can answer the phone. And step number 11, you want to begin recording calls as soon as possible. I would also recommend that you would install video cameras. And Marshall, what is the system that you like, the video camera system you like the most right now?
I'll give the Thrivers 2 options, and then both recommended options, and then the one that I personally use. We recommend Arlo, ARLO. This is something that's very easy, takes about 5 minutes to set up. It's designed for homes and home businesses. You set that up, and it's a way to monitor any type of activity going on in your place of business. Or you can use something called REO Link, which is another home business focused monitoring, security camera monitoring system. And so we recommend both of those.
And because you are in the gymnastics industry, in that field, what I need for you to do, I need you to get this, I need you to grasp this idea, is you need to offer a quality experience, which is not possible without having video cameras installed to make sure that your trainers don't become sarcastic and treat the customers like a nuisance instead of like a boss. You want your employees to treat the customer like the boss because they are the boss. Right. And over time, as you get busier, you will start to notice that they will treat the customers like they are a nuisance if you don't have video cameras up and audio recording up to record your inbound phone calls. Chup.
So it's an accountability measure, right? The video cameras are an accountability tool, but it's also a training tool. You can record best and worst practice and then have team trainings with these videos and save yourself a lot of time instead of having to train individually or correct behavior individually. You do it in a group setting with the video as your tool.
And a lot of times you can make that video feed, if you want to, a live feed on YouTube. And what you can do is there's a lot of times the father's paying for the lessons but never goes, or vice versa, mom's paying but never goes. And for their safety and security, you could say, hey, you can always tune into our website and watch your kid online at all times to make sure that no horror stories are occurring, that we are, in fact, treating your kids with respect and teaching them excellence. But that, my friend, is how you grow a tumbling company. And for anybody out there by the name of Illusion who would like to send me hate emails, we're just going to block you, and then we're moving on. But I thought I would share this because I know there's some listener out there. I say some, I mean this sincerely. There's probably thousands of you who have been manipulated by marketing companies who wrap you into long-term consulting agreements. And this particular client that I'm referencing here, he has been paying thousands and thousands of dollars to companies for years and had made no progress on the internet. And these internet marketing companies were telling him you need to sign a contract and you need to have a long-term agreement, and he had no traction. And within like 90 days of us working with his business, he generated more internet leads than he was generating previously, like dramatically more. And we don't have a contract. It's month to month. And so what will happen is this client now is having massive success, and the internet marketing people that failed him previously are now attacking and saying that our search engine marketing strategies don't work, even though the scoreboard shows different. So in all sincerity, if you're out there listening and you have a contract with a big marketing company that's not delivering, we would love to work with you. And we can only take 160 clients into the program. And so if you're a good fit, reach out to us at info@thrivetimeshow.com. You can set up a free hour-long consultation where you'll do a 13-point assessment with one of our coaches, and we can figure out if we can help you. And if we're not a good fit, then we're not a good fit. We only take 160 clients, and I will never grow beyond that because I don't want to. And we help our clients scale. So what happens is we work with a client like Delricht Research or Tip Top Canine or Full Package Media or Phone Doctors or Z66 or Dr. Robert Zeldin Associates or Epic Photography, and we scale that company. So we look for people out there that are listening that have a business model that you want to grow, and our long-term goal is to actually become a partner with you and to help you scale it over the long term. We don't have any desire of doing one-off short-term relationships, and so if you're looking for somebody that can be a true marketing partner for you for less money than it would cost to even hire one $8.25 per hour employee, reach out to us today at thrivetimeshow.com. Schedule that in-person consultation by emailing us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. And we have one of our coaches on the show today, and I wanted to get Sean's take on this. Sean, do you have any questions for us about today's show or just in general about the path we've gone over here for Mr. Levi and his tumbling company? Do you feel pretty good about it?
Well, I think as somebody who's training other people, they probably are thinking, man, how am I going to find trainers that can train just as good as me? So I would just hammer home that point. I think we did a good job here, but the group interviews is going to give you a lot of peace to know that there are people out there, and you'll find them by doing this group interview consistently every single week.
Chup, do you have anything else you want to add? I want to make sure we're not, because we went over a lot here, covered a lot of information. I want to make sure that we're leaving Mr. Levi here with a very specific path.
Parting words would be the path is here, and it's a proven path. We don't just call it that. We've literally implemented it, like Marshall said, with over 13 multi-million-dollar businesses, hundreds of clients.
Of our own businesses.
And then hundreds of clients, right? Same path, okay? So just be diligent, follow the path, delay gratification, grow this thing, and you can dominate the entire industry in your location.
Boom. So without any further ado, let's end with a big boom. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom.